This is the biggest scam in YouTube history, and it's only getting worse. Hello, you beautiful donuts. Today we're going to be talking about the honey situation. If you've been living under a rock or you're just employed and you don't know what's going on, I'm gonna break it down for you. So honey is a browser extension tool, which they basically say that if you add this to your browser, they can save you money by giving you discount codes that you didn't know were available. Right when you're about to check out, they kind of come in clutch and give you like 10%, 20%, and kind of save you money on the basis of things. And this is all for free. Now, what people normally say is when a product is free, you are the service, like you are the people that they're kind of using. It's almost like too good to be true. And honey is like one of the biggest sponsors of YouTubers. Like they've sponsored videos with over 8 billion views in total. They've done the likes of Mr. Beast, Marcus Brownlee, David Dobrik back in the day used to use them all the time. They've had control of YouTubers for so long. However, in recent weeks, a YouTuber called Megalag released a video called Exposing the Honey Influencer Scam. Now, there was no like murmurings of honey being a scam or being like bad at all, so this was like a huge shock to the creator community. In this video, he basically says how him and his team have done a multi-year investigation into honey and how they've actually been pulling the wool over creators and viewers' eyes for all of this time. I really recommend that you go and watch it after this video. Like, he shows in the intro, like, Mr. Beast is one of the biggest creators. All these creators are like huge creators that have used them, even PewDiePie, Emma Chamberlain. In this video, I'm going to discuss how they were scamming creators, scamming you, the customers, scamming businesses. It's honestly wild. So first off, one of the main kind of income sources for a lot of smaller YouTubers and bigger ones is something called affiliate links. Now, I'm a huge tech YouTuber fan. I watch like a lot of smaller tech YouTubers, and if they review, let's say like a camera, they can put an affiliate link to buy that camera on Amazon if the review's good, and every single person that purchases the camera through that link, they'll get like a little bit of a commission through it. And it's a way for smaller creators just to kind of, you know, bring in a little bit of money to kind of make them be able to post these videos. And also huge creators have them to just bring in even more excess revenue into their businesses. Now, as I said previously in this video, honey interjects itself in the checkout phase right at the end. They're normally the very last step. So what this means is the creator's affiliate link that you initially clicked to like buy the camera through, honey comes in at the very last stage and they overwrite the creator's affiliate link and they put their own in. So it almost looks like honey has kind of assisted this sale when in reality they haven't at all. And a lot of the time this happens when they don't even have a discount code. So if honey has just checked for discount codes and they weren't able to take any money off the final price, they still claim the sale, which is like absolutely mental, because not only are they pretending and kind of just amplifying their numbers way past what they actually do, they're taking money out of people's pockets. Like, this is a it's a scam. Obviously, the reason they do this is because it like inflates their net worth to like investors so they can bring more money in to grow honey further. I always used to wonder, like, how did honey have so much money to constantly sponsor the huge creators? Like, where were they getting this money from? Now, like, it's starting to get kind of unpacked how they actually had that much money. Obviously, they are owned by PayPal, but PayPal aren't gonna like create a money pit with honey. Like, it would have had to have created its own revenue for them to invest in the marketing that they did. I just find it so interesting because I've never done a deal with honey, but like there's deals like this floating around and I've always thought they're so shady. Later in this video, I'm actually going to tell you about my own experience with the brand and how they kind of me over, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Now, honey would actually steal money from businesses big and small, which obviously for a small business, like, you are kind of watching every single pound and penny that comes into your account. And obviously businesses like that aren't gonna like honey because it's kind of minimizing their revenue a little bit, which is great for like us, the customers. And that's the whole like brand image of honey. It's meant to help us, the customers, save money. However, that's not actually honey's main aim. Their main aim is not to save us money like they portray it is. They're not like this golden goose. They actually used to use these discount codes as leverage against businesses. They're basically kind of manipulating them into partnering with honey, because if a business partners with honey, they're allowed to choose which discount codes are applied at their checkout. So let's say ASOS, like, they partner with honey. If there's like a 50% discount code flying around, honey purposely will not show the customer that 50% discount code. They'll actually show, let's say, the 5% one that ASOS wants to show you. So they're kind of like scamming the customers there, because they're not showing you all of the available discount codes like they say they do. It's so bad because you're literally just you're just clickbaited work. And like I said, when a product is free, normally the customers are the product. So they're using the customers saving money as leverage against businesses to be like, well, you've got to partner with us. Otherwise, you know, you're going to be now, with Honey partnering with like a business, they earn a lot of money. Like it says here in their terms of service, Honey requires a minimum of a 3% commission from every single sale. And it also says that Honey requires a minimum of a 5% commission in order for us to enable Honey Gold on purchases. So their entire kind of business model is like kind of manipulating like the customers, manipulating the businesses, manipulating creators. But on the face of it, they seem like this golden company who's just trying to help everyone. I wonder if a lot of business owners are going to actually come out in the near future and talk about how Honey have kind of manipulated them, because I wouldn't be surprised if there's loads. It's just funny because I remember like all of the brand deals and integrations they would do. Like the creators obviously didn't know, like they're not at fault because on the face of it, Honey seems like a good product. I've actually used it, but it's just the way they tell the creators to like promote it as if it's like the best thing ever and it's helping the viewers who are watching them.
What do bees make?
Honey.
What do you like on your toast?
Honey.
Who is the sponsor of this video?
Honey.
Here's how it works. It's a free browser add-on that you install, and then every time you check out, it scans the internet and automatically applies coupon codes for you. So you're probably thinking something this good has to be really hard to get, but it's not. It just takes 2 clicks. You click here and you click here. Those 2 clicks could save you hundreds of dollars this year and thousands of dollars over your lifetime. This is $3,000 worth of shoes. Apply coupon, give Honey a second to scan the internet and find coupon codes, and Honey saved us $600. Wow. Jeez. And that's how Honey works.
Like the way they market it is if like, oh well, you've got nothing to lose here. Like why wouldn't you just find out if you can save money with all the discount codes that we have available? Oh, this pisses us off. It's because they're trying to play every side. It's like they say to creators, oh, like we'll give you money if you like promote a product, right? We're not going to steal anything from you. Then they go to customers, we're going to save you money. We're going to scan every single discount code. We're not going behind your back or doing anything shady. And then they go to businesses saying, oh, by the way, we're going to make sure that customers, they're not going to get the best deals on your products, but you have to partner with us. Like, how has this been allowed to like happen? Now you might be thinking, like, how did nobody suspect this at all? Like, surely somebody might have, you know, saw that when they had affiliate links with another company, they earned a lot more money than they did with Honey. Well, one creator did, and that creator is Linus Tech Tips, who is like one of the biggest tech channels on YouTube. They'd actually had a partnership with Honey, but in 2021, they ended it when they found out what they were up to. They found out that Honey were kind of coming in at the last stage and stealing the kind of affiliate links from them. And this was reported by Megalag in his video when he kind of researched into Linus and how they found out about it. He actually emailed Linus Media Group to see like what if they had a response. And it says here, as soon as these issues with Honey were brought to us, we tried to work with them to remedy it. After a few calls, we were informed they weren't willing to change. So we stopped working with them across all channels. However, they didn't choose to like speak about this publicly or privately to other creators, to my knowledge. Like, word gets about in the creator economy about certain kind of brands that you shouldn't work with, etc. And I never heard like anything from about Honey at all, anything negative remotely. And in another weird move, like they kind of just replaced Honey with another browser extension, which Megalag says does similar things, which then Linus Tech Tips the year after ended the relationship with them as well. I just find it a little bit weird that you wouldn't disclose this information. I get that you might not want the lawsuit or anything like that. But even just saying it privately to creators, because like I said, word gets about, and just kind of protecting creators. Like, you don't need to say it publicly if you don't feel like you want to. But I just feel like, you know, it's huge channels. Obviously, they don't have like any duty to take care of other YouTubers who don't concern them, but it would be nice. It would be just nice to, like, they would have seen loads of other big creators or small creators do brand deals with Honey, knowing that they're getting ripped off, and they've kind of just watched that and just kind of wiped their hands with it. It just shows that they probably don't care that much about the creator economy at all, really. Especially with them being like a tech tips channel. Surely a huge tech tip to creators and customers is telling them not to install a browser extension tool because it's a little bit scammy. That's a tech tip that I'd want to know. Now, they have actually responded to this in like a podcast clip.
Really bad for creators.
But it was also being blasted from the rooftops at that point in time.
Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe Megaleg is living up to his name.
It's like, at that point in time, it's also like not really our story to break. Like, if other people are already reporting on it and it's getting around a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's blowing up so much right now because of the the downsides for users.
You know, they've kind of insulted the guy that made the video and then kind of just wiped their hands with it, saying, oh, well, it's not our duty to kind of disclose this information. It's like, yeah, it's like, strictly speaking, it's not your duty, but it would be nice if you cared about, you know, people doing the same job as you to just maybe tell people. Like, it takes nothing out of your day to be like, oh, by the way, I saw that you worked with Honey. We found out that they're actually stealing money from work. I probably wouldn't recommend doing another brand deal with them. Something as simple as that would suffice. And I think it does expose a little bit, like, I know behind the scenes, like, you know, with some YouTubers, not all of them, some people are rooting for your downfall. Like, some people, like, a lot of people talk behind people's back. Like, I found that a lot when I lived where loads of YouTubers lived. It seems like people are mates, but in reality, you know, it's just cliquey. And this is just a perfect example of it. Now, like I said earlier in this video, I've never personally done a deal with Honey, so I can't speak of my own experience with them. But I did reach out to one or two people that I knew had done a deal with Honey, and I also just researched like other people to see if they've done responses on what like Honey were like to work with. And overall, people said they were actually really good. Like, they were one of the best brands that they'd actually worked with on YouTube. Because I will tell you, doing brand integrations on YouTube, like, it's nice. It's nice because you get extra money, and it's like unreal when you need the money. Like, I've needed the money at times and I've had to take a brand deal just to pay rent. But a lot of brands think that they know best, and like they think that they know your audience, when in reality, like, you know your audience best, you know what will respond best with them. And apparently Honey just used to let the creators just do what they wanted. They would give them like a loose script, but they were like so forward thinking with YouTube and knew the creator knew best. Another thing on top of this, which looks like so shady in hindsight, but they paid up front. Now, I will tell you one thing, working with brands, I have never ever been paid up front once. That just doesn't happen. A lot of the time with brands, they'll kind of hold on to the money, especially if it's like near April, so they can kind of carry it into the next tax year. It just kind of inflates how much revenue they have and kind of gives them like a bigger budget for like other things they want to spend money on. They literally couldn't care less about like a creator and like getting their money. Like, sometimes you really have to like probe the brand to get the money. Like, no, you're lucky if you get your money in like 60 days. So for Honey to pay up front and to pay like Mr. Beast up front, you're talking like millions here. People are going to love working with them. So that's how they kind of pulled the wool over creators' eyes, because creators just couldn't believe how good this actually was. A product that on the surface of things looks like it saves people money. It doesn't cost people anything to do it. It's like the perfect thing to kind of promote. And if you use it yourself like I did, it's like, it on the surface of things, it seems perfect. So what I'm trying to say is creators had no reason to kind of think ill about them, and I don't really think creators should be blamed. But one thing I think creators should kind of take from this is when they're doing a brand deal, just really kind of like study the brand that you're doing it with. Like, make sure you're not just taking it because the money looks good. Actually think like, would my viewers use this? Like, would I use this? That's the main thing, because if you would use it, then that's like the best kind of recommendation. And also, it's kind of impossible for the creators to know that Honey were like stealing money from them as well, because unless you had the inspect tool open for the entire time that you were checking out with Honey, which, like, when are you ever going to do that? You would have to have like a basic understanding of coding to like see the affiliate link go out and get replaced with like a Honey one. It's like something that you wouldn't suspect it was happening, because they give you no reason to kind of think that they were like a company. And also, companies very rarely share like how many people download something that you promote, because if they share that, then you can use that against them if you want to negotiate like the next deal. So they kind of normally don't give you it, because they want to have like the A side and you be the B side. Now, quite a few YouTubers have responded to this who did deals with Honey. We have Marcus Brownlee. He basically tells people that he stopped working with Honey in 2021, not because he knew about it, he just kind of stopped working with them in general. But he does tell people, if you do have Honey installed, just uninstall it, because, you know, they're not working for you like they say. And I imagine there's other stuff that Honey might be hiding that they're not showing you, like maybe how they collect your data, etc. Creators like Ludwig have also spoke out about it, how it seems very scammy what they're doing. Markiplier has also talked on the situation. One interesting thing with Markiplier is he kind of actually predicted that this would happen way back in 2020.
I have a natural distrust of Honey. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I naturally distrust Honey. And I don't... Okay, all right, guys. All right, we're going to... Stop. Everyone listen. I don't know what it is, but my gut tells me that nothing in life is free. So where's all these savings coming from? And, like, the money that people get from Honey, I don't trust it. They push so much advertising. They push so much advertising on YouTube. They do brand deals with other YouTubers. I think they've even offered me, and I said no because I just don't trust Honey. I have a feeling there's gonna, in like a couple years, there's gonna be the great Honey conspiracy of like 2022.
Like, that's crazy that he predicted this, but it's so true. Like, obviously he's like a very smart guy. Like, where's the money coming from? There's no company has ran YouTube integrations like Honey. Like, they had Shane Dawson when he was at his highest, when he was like getting like 20 million views a video. Like, the funds you need to sponsor that when you're just a free browser extension, you have to recoup that money somehow. And again, I know they're owned by PayPal, but PayPal aren't gonna just put all of this money into something that isn't making the money back. I just find it so interesting that he predicted this.
And I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's fine. And like, I got no problem with like the concept of an app that like clips coupon codes for you. That's great. That sounds great on its surface, but there's some shady shit going on. I can't put my finger upon it. But why do they spend millions on advertising? And then people are getting money out of it, and then people are saving money out of it, and that makes sense, but the other part doesn't make sense, and then something's going.
It's just so funny because it seems like he's crazy, but he's like spot on. Like, this is so strange that he's like nailed it. And he's like convincing himself. He's like, oh no, I'm probably just being stupid. You weren't. You should have kept going with it. Rejecting a sponsorship because you don't know how they make money is a really great mindset to have. To be fair, that actually is a really good mindset. It's one of the reasons why I do hardly any brand. I've never done a brand deal on this channel. I am looking to do brand deals, but I reject so much because I would love the money to get a house or like... Obviously, I wouldn't get that off one brand deal, but you know, if I get like 100, if I don't trust it, I just can't like show it to you, and I need to like know that it's a good business and it produces like good products. Otherwise, me soul, I would just feel terrible. Some people, like, fair play to them, they're just trying to get the bag or whatever it is. They'll promote anything, like genuinely anything. I've seen people promote like products that I'm like, you do not use that. And since all of this has been going on, Honey before this apparently had 20 monthly active users, and that's gone down to 17 million, and that's only in the space of like 10 days, so that's pretty wild. I'm kind of interested to see if they're going to keep their head above water. Surely it's going to carry on because not everyone is kind of into YouTube drama, and not everyone's going to know about this, so it's still going to function, but at what kind of level? I don't think they'll ever get YouTube sponsors ever again. Just between me and you, like, don't say this to anyone else. I know I'm saying this to, you know, however many people are watching this, but there used to be a company that I had a partnership with as of very recently, but a news article came out which said that they didn't actually treat their workers that well, but the actual product and the service was amazing. Like, I've used it for like years, but when this news broke out and they came to me and they were like, oh, do you want to do this this month's integration, I just stopped it because I didn't feel it feels so dystopian that I would take money from a company when they're not giving the money to the people that actually work there. You know what I mean? Like, that would make me feel like a piece of shit. So I like stopped like a long-standing deal, even though that's like, you know, that's like money out of my pocket. But it's just because how you're feeling here, and I feel like that's how what you've got to really judge taking brand deals on. I know I'm rambling here. Apologies if I'm boring you, but I do want to pose one question to you guys. Like, how do you feel about this? Like, does this make you feel like if you do use Honey, does this break your trust? Are you going to continue to use Honey, especially if you're not a creator? I know that now they're kind of using you because they use you to like manipulate companies into joining them, and they don't actually show you all of the discount codes. But does that really mean a lot to you? Like, I'm actually interested how this is going to affect, like, from a consumer's kind of point of view, because myself, I won't use Honey again, but that's because I'm also a creator and I don't like the way they've tracked creators as well as me as a customer. Now, in the last few days, the current update, like the big update, is that there's a class action lawsuit against Honey made by Legal Eagle. It's basically like a YouTube channel with 3.5 million subscribers, but he's like a top lawyer as well.
So I, along with some other great attorneys, filed suit on behalf of all creators and businesses who have been harmed by Honey PayPal. Because there are so many people, we filed a class action lawsuit seeking damages in the form of the money that we believe Honey prevented from reaching creators, so we can give it back to creators. And equally important, we're suing for an injunction to stop Honey's practices in the future. If you're a creator or a business who thinks that they have been harmed by Honey, please reach out to my law firm by either going to honeylawsuit.com or by reaching out via email at honeycase@eagleteam.law.
Now, I will put those links in the description if you want to do that, if you are a creator or like you feel like you might have lost money through Honey. But it is good to see like the community kind of fighting back. Like, I like it. It seems like the community's kind of coming together to be like, look, this isn't right. Like, no matter if you're a huge YouTuber, a small YouTuber, you shouldn't let a company come in and kind of steal money from you. Especially, you know, like a lot of people have people that work for them, and they might have had to let people go because, you know, they weren't bringing in enough revenue, especially with smaller channels if they've got like a little team. It's just so sad, and I can't believe the people who run Honey can actually sleep with themselves knowing that they do this to people's livelihoods. I know like the huge creators aren't going to get much sympathy from this because, you know, most of them are millionaires. But I hope people do feel sympathy for like, you know, the mid and kind of like beginner or lower kind of creators, because, you know, that can be the main source of their income when they're not getting, you know, a lot of views. And one thing I did find interesting when I was just kind of researching for this video is I went on Trustpilot, and you're not actually allowed to leave a review for Join Honey anymore. They've stopped it. It says here, unfortunately, we've had to temporarily close this page for new reviews. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Like, they've done that to stop the onslaught. But why? Because they've shown only the good reviews, like 5-star, 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 5-star. It's just all good reviews. And I don't know if this is because Trustpilot has a link with PayPal, or like it all kind of just seems very shady. I hope this video has been interesting, by the way. I know it's more of like an informative one and maybe it's not as comedic, but I'm just passionate about this. So if you would like to watch another video from me that is a comedic one, that's a little bit of comedic relief after this heavily informational one, click this video right here. Go on. Treat yourself.
Kirkham, baby.